Good morning. It is, excuse me, 8:26 a.m. on Saturday, December 26th, 2015. I'm Christiana Ellis and I just got up. This is 5 more minutes. In principle, I suppose today is Boxing Day, except that that's only a thing in the abstract for me. Um, is that more of a British and Canadian or Canadian thing? I don't know. I mean, I am aware of its existence, but it has never particularly meant anything to me, other than the impulse to try to name every single day. So today I was thinking about an op-ed in the New York Times that I read, where uh, I'm going to be paraphrasing a little bit here, and I want to be careful with that because I'm going to disagree. So I want to be fair to the op-ed writer, but at the same time disagree with them. The title is something like "The Oxymoron of the Asian American Superhero," which already is a little like oxymoron. So the writer of the op-ed is Malaysian and now living in America. I actually I'm not 100% sure of that now that I think about it, but they talk about their childhood in Malaysia to be sure. And essentially, their argument seems to be that as a kid, they were able to identify with the superheroes just fine, even though they were all white and male. And it's because it was implied that like, well, it's they're also all American, and it's just emblematic of like the American dream, and that it's part of the fantasy, and that's why they think this push now to have superheroes be more diverse doesn't make sense because it actually undercuts the fantasy. Which, I mean, I suppose it's this person's right to feel how they feel about it. But the whole idea of going for more diversity is to give more people what they want. Like, if this, first of all, I didn't get the impression, although they cite a couple of recent examples, it's all very headline level, and I'm not sure how many current comics they read. Certainly, when they talk, so like one of the things that they talk about is how like Asian Americans have this cultural baggage, sometimes self-imposed baggage, like meaning by their own communities, not put on them from outside, that would make it difficult to write an Asian American superhero because, like, how would they fight crime without embarrassing themselves or their family? And I can't help but think it's like, okay, I don't want to pretend that I understand all of the baggage that they might be talking about, but aren't there lots of superhero type characters in like manga and other like, Chinese and Japanese um, stories like, uh, Kamen Rider or, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, like these things come from Japan, and like Gatchaman, and um, and not only that, but like the whole idea of having more diversity in comics and superheroes is to give lots of people what they want. And so if this particular writer just feels like, well, it never bothered me that they weren't diverse. I mean, newsflash, there's still plenty of white male superheroes. Not running out anytime soon of those. But it's the idea of the people who do want more diversity will now have it. So I'm really kind of gobsmacked by that op-ed. It really feels like, except that it's clearly written by someone who grew up in another culture, and the idea that they just sort of came to see the whole superhero genre as being an American thing, and that he doesn't want it to change because that's part of what he liked about it. I mean, I guess they're entitled to feel that way, and I don't want to say that they're wrong to feel that way, but to advocate against adding diversity just because it never particularly bothered him that there wasn't diversity ignores the lots of people who are complaining about lack of diversity. So it's more just kind of like saying, well, hey, this particular social issue never bothered me personally. Therefore, I don't think that we should do anything about it, even though I happen to know for a fact that there are lots of people who disagree with me and think we need to do something about it. And so my opinion that it never bothered me should trump what everybody else thinks. So, I don't know. That was just what I was thinking about. That it was a strange article and just left me feeling a little bit perplexed about it. Anyway, I will talk to you guys tomorrow for 5 more minutes.